Retirement is your time to enjoy life, but where you spend your money matters. So while treating yourself is important, there are some common mistakes that I've seen as a financial planner that can drain your savings. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money, but I'll share insights on what not to waste your hard-earned savings on. So let's jump into it. Number one, things you should never waste your money on in retirement. Credit cards offer several benefits like earning air miles, rewards, fraud protection, and quick access to funds in emergencies. However, the downside is that credit card debt can build up quickly, becoming a serious financial burden. As of July 2024, outstanding credit card debts in the UK reached £71 billion, a 6.6% increase from the previous year. That on average, households carry 2.5 grand in credit card debt with 1,300 owed per adult. If you only make the minimum payments on a typical credit card, it could take over 27 years to clear the balance. In retirement, your money should go towards enjoying life, not paying off significant credit card debt. To avoid high interest charges, aim to pay off your balance in full each month. Number two is things you should never waste your money on in retirement. Technology is constantly evolving. The shiny new phone with all the bells and whistles may seem appealing, but do you really need it in retirement? The truth is that most high-end gadgets come with features you'll rarely use. And the ones you do use, calling, texting, and browsing the web, are just as easy on a device that costs half the price. For example, the latest smartphones can run over £1,000, yet a more modest model can do 90% of the same tasks for a fraction of the cost. So instead of chasing the latest tech trends, focus on what really serves you. If your current devices work just fine, stick with them. When the time does come to upgrade, opt for a mid-range option that gets the job done without breaking the bank. Number three, things you should never waste your money on in retirement. Luxury cars may seem like the ultimate retirement gift to yourself, but they're often not worth the cost. Cars are depreciating assets, losing value the moment you drive them off the lot. The average car in the UK loses around 50% of its value in the first 3 years. I once worked with a couple who bought 2 Ferraris as a retirement present. They weren't even car enthusiasts, and a year later, they realized that the cars were a bit of a financial strain and they could have done something more meaningful with their money. So before splurging on a luxury vehicle, consider whether it aligns with your values and if it will bring you joy in your retirement. Number four, things you should never waste your money on in retirement. It's easy to get caught up in the dream of hitting the jackpot, but the odds are tremendously against you. According to the UK National Lottery, the odds of winning the jackpot are about 1 in 45 million. And to win the Euro Millions, the odds are 1 in 139 million. And to put that into perspective, you're more likely to be struck by lightning or attacked by a shark. While there's no harm in spending a small amount on a lottery ticket occasionally for fun, it's important to remember that money spent on lotteries is almost always money lost. 5 things you should never spend your money on in retirement. Subscriptions can quietly drain your finances if you're not paying attention. According to Citizens Advice, we spent nearly £700 million on unused subscriptions last year. So it's worth taking a moment to review what you subscribe to, whether it's streaming services, magazines, or gym memberships. If you're not using them, cancel them and put that money towards something more valuable. If you have an iPhone, hit what subscriptions are linked to your account. I've added a link below that explains how to do this. Number 6, things you should never waste your money on in retirement. Avoid impulse purchases, especially big ones. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I see retirees make. Withdrawing large sums from your investment portfolio to cover an unplanned expense, like an impulse around the world cruise, can hurt your long-term financial success. So these withdrawals can chip away at your investment returns and over time reduce the amount you'll have to fund your retirement years. And that's why it's important to have a plan in place for any significant purchases. Before making a big decision, reflect on your retirement goals and ask yourself if it will generally add value to your life. Number 7, things you should never waste your money on in retirement. Investment fees can quietly erode your retirement savings. Take Sarah, for example. She's 65, recently retired, and her pension is valued at £550,000. Her retirement score is 103%, meaning she's on track to cover expenses throughout her retirement and still have a small surplus at the end. But she's paid 1.5% in investment fees, which costs her around £8,250 a year. So if you reduce the fees to 0.5%, a very achievable goal, she'll save £5,500 each year. That simple change will boost her retirement score to 119%, giving her some flexibility to spend more on what truly matters. So whenever possible, opt for low-cost investment options. It can save you a substantial amount over time. Number 8 things you should never spend your money on in retirement. While you should always pay your taxes, there's no need to give HMRC a tip. And many retirees in the UK miss out on tax-saving opportunities simply because they're unaware of them. Make sure you're taking advantage of all available tax allowances and benefits. So consider how you withdraw from your pensions, ISAs, or other investment accounts in the most tax-efficient manner. Smart tax planning can make a big difference in how far your money goes in retirement. And let's look at another example with Steve and Jane, who have recently retired. Their wealth is spread across pensions, ISAs, and general investment accounts. While their retirement plan looks strong, they currently left a tax-efficient withdrawal strategy. So our plan is to manage their withdrawals by utilizing their tax allowances and income tax balance, ensuring they don't overpay. And this approach improves their retirement score from 116% to 124%, as shown in the total taxes chart. Ultimately, this means they retain more of their wealth, giving them greater flexibility in how they use it during retirement. Number 9 things you should never spend your money on in retirement. I fully support gifting money to loved ones. So helping a child onto the property ladder or paying for a wedding can be incredibly rewarding. However, I've seen cases where unplanned gifts have severely impacted someone's retirement plans, even to the point where they've had to ask for the money back. Think of gifting like the airplane oxygen mask. You need to secure your own mask before helping others. And the same principle applies to retirement planning. Ideally, you need to make sure you have enough to comfortably live the life you want to live in retirement. Only then should you consider making significant financial gifts. Before making a large gift, ask yourself, how will this affect the affordability of my retirement? It's also important to stress test your plan. So by considering potential market downturns, high inflation, or living longer than expected. And this will give you peace of mind that you're doing the right thing. Number 10 things you should never spend your money on in retirement. So always shop around and compare prices for professional services, such as accountants or financial advisors, to avoid overpaying. In my experience, many clients are paid too much for financial advice and not receiving enough value in return. And this can have a serious impact on their retirement outlook. For instance, some financial advisors charge a percentage-based fee, known as an assets under management or AUM fee. And this is typically around 1% of your portfolio's value, which can add up to thousands or even tens of thousands of pounds, depending on your investment size. It's important to ensure you're getting real value for the money you're spending. In streamlined financial planning, we don't charge AUM fees. I believe they create conflicts of interest, and for most clients, they're simply not fair. Instead, we charge a fixed monthly subscription fee, which is transparent, fair, and appreciated by our clients. So these are just a few areas where I've seen retirees cut costs, which can make a significant difference in their retirement success. We all have different priorities, so you might not agree with everything I've mentioned. However, what's important is having a spending plan that tracks your outgoings. Use the go, go, slow go, and no go approach. So increasing spending in early retirement, then gradually reducing it as you age and become less active. And make sure it's affordable and that you've stress tested various scenarios. If you have any questions about your retirement, feel free to get in touch. See you in the next video.